let me give you Virginia Greene and Justine Greene, our speakers today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for gathering here today. This is marvelous. I can't help but reflect that when I was first a mom, there weren't gatherings like this anywhere that I was aware of. If there were, I certainly wasn't part of them, and I can see what a tremendous difference it makes to be able to come together as a group of mothers and talk about things that are of common interest. We've taken a cut at sort of 10 wisdoms that we think sustain us both, that we want to share with you, and just give you a little bit of highlights about those, and then open it up to you folks. So the first learning, and I think there's no question from my personal experience and from Justine's, that the first one, take care of yourself, is the first one and is always the first one. It's not just one of the ones of things that you have to do. Moms have to take the care first for themselves. And I did a lot of travel in my business career, and I remember once paying attention for the first time on an aircraft when the person at the front announced that in the event of a loss of oxygen, that a mask would fall from the top of the airplane. And if you were traveling with somebody who needed your care, put your mask on first and then theirs. And I heard it as if I'd never heard it before, because it's so counterintuitive to do that. It's so easy to think that the air supply goes to the one who needs it. But in fact, the one who's providing it is the one who's got to be having the beating heart and the breath. So it's really been an important picture for me. And every time I ride on an airplane, I take note of that notion again. And I think, am I doing the things for me that I need to be doing in order to be of use to the community around me?
The company you keep. Surrounding yourself with positive, loving people who get who you are. It sounds so simple, I think, and it's literally one of the hardest lessons I've, at my young age, I have 36, whatever, but to give myself permission to do. Negative people, a little tiny bit of negativity can go a long way, especially if they're in your inner circle. So surround yourself with people who truly love you and support you. And find a place for those people who aren't that good. And sometimes they're siblings, or you have to be around them, but just put them in another place so they don't infect you. Because they infect you, it infects your family, and it just sort of continues.
There have been many times in which I've said to Justine in our adult lives together, did we have fun when you were growing up? Because my takeaway from a lot of that period, the part that isn't just a blur, feels like I was coming and going, was always somewhere other than where I wanted or needed to be at the time. And I spent an awful lot of my time between a clock and a hard place trying to figure out how do I get to the next place and be present in the next place. And I remember once picking Justine up at school, leaving my office, picking Justine up at school, taking her to something that nobody else could take her to that day. And often I was thinking in terms of who else can do this for me, rather than thinking, hey, I should just get in my car and go do this. And I remember Justine turning to me, I don't remember your age, but saying to me, Mom, is this quality time?
I like when people say, so what do you do? And I try to answer, I'm a mom first, and then whatever the business card says and all the rest of the stories. That pays the bills, but in my soul, on my deathbed, that's the most rewarding job I'll ever have. So moms matter, and moms matter.
I would add on just one note, and that is to say that some of the saddest stories that I ever hear from women, and I hear them from women of all ages, are women who are estranged from their own mothers, who for various reasons have gotten off track with their own mothers and have not been able to find their way back. And my advice to them is always the same, to go back and to try to find the things that bind you and worry less about the things that separate you and divide you, because there is no other person in your life who knows you and loves you as your mom does. So very best wishes to you all in your as moms, and to you in your long lives. And I hope some of what we've had to say today might resonate with you, and that you'll take a tip away and do something a little bit differently for yourselves as your day goes on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Virginia and Justine, for being here.
Thank you.
And,